I'm Ben.
And I'm Julia.
And this is the Song Per Day podcast.
We're two people who like different kinds of music, share song recommendations with each other and you.
Hi guys, it's great for being here. Thanks for inviting me.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm from Trento right now, which is just above Milan in the north part of Italy, near Lake Garda.
So you're from Italy, you've always lived in Italy?
Yeah, I was born in Milan, and which is a pretty big city and also pretty international, especially in the last decade for like music and art. It's a very cool city. And then when I was 15, I think, when I was 12, actually, I moved to Trento, which is basically a 2-hour drive from Milan, and it's closer to the Alps, so in the north. And this was a completely different reality for me because Trento is a very small town and it's very, attached to its traditional compared to Milan. So, you don't get to see like many shows here or many art
Right.
exhibitions. It's a very, very like friendly and, close to nature kind of vibe. But for, a young musician is not probably the best scenario in that sense.
Are you like the local attraction now? Like, do you play locally? Do people know you?
No, because the thing about my city, about Trento, is that, being so small, basically it has like a stadium where like super famous Italian pop star come to play, or they have like bars and pubs where like people with a guitar and a microphone go. So there's nothing like in the between, like clubs or like 500 people venues where I could perform. But in Italy, we just did a tour back in November, and we played in Milan, in Bologna, and Rome, and it went great. Nice. 2 shows were sold out, and people were having a lot of fun.
Nice. Was that like your dream, like when you were young, would be like to go to Rome? Like for you, that was like the big place to play?
No, probably was already like my dream, even when I was younger, was to be able to play in the United States, because I've always related to that culture, musically. Yeah, New York, probably.
It's the world of opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. As they say.
Yeah, exactly. Like we both love live music, so we always talk about venues we love, and both of us have like favorite venues in New York, favorite venues in London, like, the really big places where people like aspire to play.
Yeah.
None in Italy yet.
No, yeah,
To
that's
come
true.
see a show in Italy.
Yeah. If you guys are playing in Italy, we'll come just to see you.
Awesome.
When did you start getting into music? Like, what's your musical background?
So none of my parents actually are musicians, but my mother is a dance teacher. So I remember a lot of the time, when I was going with her to her dance classes, she will just put music like Stevie Wonder, because she has basically a playlist for because she used to teach to like probably adults and also to young kids. And for young kids, for like warming up, I remember she had this playlist she made, the old cassette, and she had like Superstition by Stevie Wonder, she had Jamiroquai, and she had a couple of like very funky stuff, and I just kind of remember that I loved that music. And also my father is a great vinyl collector, as well as my grandfather, his dad. So, growing up, he used to put a lot of like vinyl records and stuff like that. Instead of like watching the TV in the evening, we used to listen to a lot of vinyls. And I remember when I was young, for me, it was very cool to see. This is my cat. It was very cool to see, all these records that now I have, I got in my room, and just, going through the covers, and it was very, attract something that I was really attracted to. And as soon as I grew up, I really wanted to start learn guitar, especially because the sound of the guitar, like Muddy Waters, Jimi Hendrix, and all those like rock blues players, really struck a chord in me, and I just wanted to be able to do that.
I love the Prince one. You moved your head for a second, and I was like, "There's Prince." Like, you've got everybody.
Yeah,
we have
these are like my
also.
favorite.
Yeah. Who else is up there? It's a little blurry for me.
So you have Prince.
Yeah.
You have Michael Jackson. You have Stevie Wonder, and then you have George Benson.
Okay, so all the classics, and then you got your Purple Rain shirt.
And then here you have Donald Fagen from Steely Dan, Anderson .Paak, and Curtis Mayfield. These are just probably some of my favorite. I think also James Brown is missing, or there are a couple of that I should add soon.
What's your cat's name?
It's actually called Cina, which is in Italian is the short way of saying. Basically, is like the final part of Micina, with means kitten, like small cat.
That's cute. I was expecting it to be like Beethoven.
No. It is also it also means China in Italian, Cina. And this is because we found her outside a Chinese supermarket when she was little.
Really?
So, crazy.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, so how did you go from just listening to records to actually learning guitar? How did you learn to play?
So my approach was pretty naive, if you can say that, because basically I remember that for my 13th birthday, I asked my parents to get me an electric guitar, and so they bought me a Squier Stratocaster, because I was really obsessed with the Woodstock DVD, the Woodstock Festival DVD. And
we're familiar.
Yeah,
and basically I loved the Jimi Hendrix performance, and he had the white cream Stratocaster. He actually had two. He also had the black one for a couple of songs, I think. But they got me a white cream Squier Stratocaster, and I just started, messing around with it and trying to play by ear above the records. And that's probably not the standard approach that people get to learn guitar now. It probably used to be the approach, for the olden days. But I was just very, lazy, and I didn't want to, go to a guitar teacher, because I just really wanted to start playing. And so, that's an approach that still follows me to this day, because, I don't have any music theory. So all my approach is really based on listening to a lot of different music and trying to, transcribe it and play it by ear. I'm not saying that music theory is not important, of course, because you can learn so many stuff. But for me, it was kind of like the opposite process to, because right now, when I post a lot of solos, basically some of my followers in the comments write hey, I love how you use the Mixolydian scale or the altered scale over this dominant chord, and I actually had no idea what they're talking about,
You're like, what the fuck is that?
For me, it's the opposite process. Usually I improvise over something and I write a solo, and then I put it to tab, but I don't even know how to read a musical sheet,
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's always
So,
amazing to me, because it just shows that you just have natural talent, I think.
Of course you can learn a lot by music theory, but I think, that you also gotta be realistic and say, what's the thing that can really help me to get to the level that I want? Because, you can always improve, but I just really wanted to get myself out there and just play my stuff, or the music that I loved immediately.
You were impatient. You were like, I want to get out there.
Yeah. So after a while, after my dad saw that I was really interested in playing guitar, for real, he sent me to this guitar teacher And I remember that I just didn't want to be there and learn. He was trying to teach me how to play chords and the pentatonic scale.
Right.
But I was every time, every lesson, I was just asking him to play songs. Like I would bring him like a Led Zeppelin song and say, hey, teach me to play that. And it was like, okay, but first you gotta learn how to improvise on it. And I was really actually lazy in that sense.
I feel like I understand. I played the piano for like 15 years. And like my least favorite thing was going to piano lessons, which is such a shame because like you spend so much money to have somebody whose like only job in the world is to teach people piano. And you're like, no, I can do this by myself. Like, I don't need you. I'm not interested. But I see both approaches. Like he learned by himself and like, can you read music?
No, I took some guitar lessons though. And then I learned a lot from YouTube videos.
Yeah. Same, I think that now there are so many resources to learn by yourself.
Yeah.
I think I'm too lazy to learn by myself. I think if someone wasn't like forcing me to learn music, I don't know what I would do.
No, but for me, it will probably be the same because even when right now I'm still learning a lot of new stuff. But my advice also when like young or beginner guitarist write me on Instagram saying, hey man, how many hours do you practice or how can I reach your level? And I always reply, I don't really like practice. I don't just sit there and practice the whole morning like scales or like timing exercises. I practice through something that is creative, like jamming on a track that I want to try to learn and prepare for a video, or writing my own music, or recording stuff for other people. And for that, I research new ideas, new licks, or new anything. If you do that, it's very stimulating and less tiring than just okay, let's learn a scale and practice that for 1 hour.
Yeah, it's so boring. So you've like found a fun way to like quote unquote practice. Like I feel like now someone at your level doesn't really need to sit and practice, but like for young you or for young listeners, like find a more creative way to get those scales in.
No, yeah, but I always practice every day. I play around 6-8 hours per day, but it's not practicing
right
6 hours straight. It's really composing, recording stuff, researching new ideas. So it's fun in that way. And I think it's the best way to practice because you put like theory to action in that way,
100%.
Totally. Song?
Yeah.
So I feel like now, having heard like a little bit about your musical background, we would love for you to recommend us one of your like original songs. I've heard a few live when you guys were here a few weeks ago, but I don't know if you like want to tell us about a song and then we can listen to it.
I don't have all those original singles out. I actually have 2 or 3. So, probably my suggestion will be Getting to the Groove, which is like the first single that I released as Giacomo Turra and my most streamed so far. And I think it's a great example of like my approach to guitar playing because one thing that really, was going well on Instagram was my, approach to kind of trying to put together different techniques on guitar, like borrowed also from bass playing, like slapping on guitar, the more like rhythmic percussive approach that's already being used a lot on like acoustic guitars, for example. And I also try to apply that on electric guitar. Of course, I'm not saying that I was the first to do that, but I'm just saying that this is something that even today, when people like write me and ask me how to play, that is something that they really connect me to, so I just posted, back in actually like 2 years ago in 2021, I posted the first like kind of rough idea of that riff, and it went really great. And then I was trying to develop that, but then I like kind of forgot about it, and because I was busy doing other stuff. And then I remember posting that video like 1 year ago, and I tried to redevelop the riff and to post it again in like a longer version. And as caption, I asked, should I release the full version? And that video, I think it's still today is my most viewed video. It got like 5 million views on Instagram. And so many people were asking for the video to be released, for the full song to be released, excuse me. So, I put myself into it, and I team up with some amazing players that I knew through Instagram to record like drums and other instruments. And it went great,
Yeah. I think we should.
A fun song to listen to.
Yeah, we should play it for the listeners, and we're not going to make you listen to it unless you want to. I'm sure you've heard it enough times, but we're going to take a little pause, and we're going to take a listen. I love the song, so I already know the song. I don't know.
I was listening to it yesterday while I went for a run. It was perfect music to run to.
That's so funny. Yeah, like
Awesome.
As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, perfect, because that's like one of my favorite songs. But I will say that like a lot of my favorite songs of yours like aren't up yet. Like some of the covers you guys have done, like they're not like on Spotify. But so now it's like, if I want to listen to your music, it's like I can listen to some on Spotify, some on YouTube, some on Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's not,
Yeah, I should probably release more covers. Yeah.
You should give the people what they want. But actually, like I heard you guys play a few weeks ago some of your unreleased songs,
that's the thing
right?
also.
Yeah. Which songs did you play when you were on tour? Like that haven't come out yet? Or maybe you're not, maybe we're not talking about that. Maybe it's a secret.
No. We have like 3 or 4 unreleased original songs that we're testing on live shows. And basically, we're just, trying out with the public. And also, in Israel, they went great. People were loving it.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably release one of those very soon because it's already been recorded. I'm just not very satisfied by my vocals. because vocals is something pretty new to me compared to guitar.
Yeah,
and
it's different.
I never satisfied by my by my voice. But I also think that people don't really follow me for vocals, so I don't think they have all this high expectation for vocals. So I'm just gonna probably release it anyway.
I'm sure it's good.
Yeah. Also, like, we're always our own harshest critics, right? Like, you're going to release it and people are going to go crazy and they're going to think it's amazing. And you're going to be like, oh, I hear that one part. I don't like that I did that. But, like, literally, you're the only person that notices.
Yeah,
probably.
I know.
But I'm sure that, like, it's hard to, like, let go of something that you've been working on. And, like, when do you ever really know, like, if it's ready?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could talk to us a little bit about your band. How did you decide to go from like a solo guitar player into like forming a band? Like, where did you find them?
Mm-hmm.
They were so nice. Like, I met some of them a few weeks ago and like I saw you guys play together and the vibe was amazing. So we would love to hear a little bit about that also.
I love these guys. They're amazing. Basically, I always played in bands actually. Like after I started playing guitar when I was 13, I formed my first band with like my high school friends. And we were just like playing, I remember, like alternative rock stuff like Arctic Monkeys or Strokes. This band
Nice.
that many high school guys
Yep.
are used to listen to. And also because, those were the years when those bands were really hip. So, and then when I started doing university, I was studying design and art in Milan.
Oh, cool.
So I went back to Milan to study that. We didn't split up, but like we kind of like took a break because I was 2 hours far from here.
Yeah.
And I started going into my solo project, which was called JMT. You can still find some songs on YouTube and Spotify under that name. And I started exploring the idea of recording songs alone and writing original material in a more like serious way. And I started to go back to like funk and R&B and soul and jazz and all the music that I really love. But for some reason that I stopped playing, probably because I was not even capable of playing, that music when I was younger. And, I released a couple of songs, and the reaction was, also between my friends. It was among my friends. It was really great. And then COVID happened. I stopped, playing with a band. I was stuck at home, so I just started, working on rearranging funk and R&B covers or releasing like a little original material on Instagram. And the profile kind of blew up because many videos went viral very quickly. And then basically what happened is that we started receiving offers for playing at like big festivals or going to the United States. And my old bandmates, my high school friends, which are still some of my best friends, they were really like beginner musicians. And also they all studied like different stuff at university. So for them, it was just an hobby, like me, but they were not able to just like leave university for like 6 months and just go to United States or, so we kind of like decided to take a break from that. And in the meantime, my current drummer, Matteo, which you met in Tel Aviv, basically he wrote me and he asked me if I could send him a video that I posted on Instagram because he wanted to do a drum cover on it. And he posted that video and I was like blew away by his ability to like groove and play on my track. So I immediately asked him where he was from. And he told me that he was from Trento, from here. So I was like, what? And he introduced me to our current bass player. And we just like met for a jam. And, we immediately like fell in love for each other playing. And we decided to that they should have joined my project. And with them we went to the United States last year and we started doing videos together. And then Anna, our singer and pianist, joined the band, and then also Alessandro, the saxophone player, which currently lives in Oslo, but he always come for our shows every time.
Wow. That's like very dedicated.
Yeah. Yeah, because basically we... No, because we played at Soul Life Festival in the Netherlands before Candidalfer and Incognito and Joe Stone.
Yeah.
And the organizer of that festival, since we did an Instagram video with a saxophone player in New York, he really loved that format, and he told us, "Hey guys, you should really like find a saxophone player for your Soul Live performance." And we basically asked around, and there was a really like talented Italian saxophone player that was living in Rotterdam, so really close to the festival in the Netherlands where we were playing.
Oh, yeah.
And we asked him if we wanted to learn the songs and play with us. And he was such a great guy that we ended up, getting him into the band. And he came to our Italian tour. He came to Israel. He's gonna follow us in Nigeria in 1 month, and also in the United States. So he's basically our saxophone player now.
Yeah, what are the tour plans? So you guys, I know what shows you've already done, and I know you mentioned you have like the big U.S. trip coming up, but you guys are also going to Nigeria. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, crazy. Also like I want to say Israel was crazy for me. Like I didn't expect that to have so many following there from Instagram and Facebook. Crazy. Like I remember that there was like people singing like my song, Getting to the Groove in the public, and such a nice audience. Really, like they were really like proud of having me there. And it was really great. It was really touching, and also I love like the vibe of the city, the people, really amazing. And yeah, it all happens. It all happens like that. Basically. Promoters of like venue owners wrote me on Instagram, and they invite me to do this kind of things. They most of the times they write me through their like private profiles, so I don't even know like how much to trust them, because
right.
I don't even know who are these people, but I always reply to everyone, so I try to stay in touch, because I manage myself right now all by myself.
Wow.
So we ended up playing at Soul Live in the US. We ended up playing in Israel, and the organizer of the Lagos Jet Festival in Nigeria asked me to play there, and we will be the first band to play there from Italy.
Wow.
So yeah, it's gonna be pretty amazing. Also because like Fela Kuti is from there, so all the Afrobeat movement and funk has a really strong connection to Nigerian and Africa, of course, in general. So it's gonna be really amazing. I've always dreamed to visit Africa, and we're going there on the 7th of April.
Soon.
And we're also arranging some other shows around those dates. Yeah, I'm gonna announce it soon. They're the first one to hear it.
That's so exciting. How did you feel when, like, you started just putting videos on Instagram? You didn't really know whether this was going to take off or not. And then all of a sudden, like almost overnight, your videos are like going viral and people are writing to you. Like, that's just so crazy.
Yeah, I didn't did it I didn't really do it with the intention of like getting famous. It was just a way to, kind of release the stress and have fun during the lockdown, where playing guitar was getting really like something just for myself, and I didn't feel very inspired anymore, because I just love playing together with my band and other people, and to play in front of other people. So this was a way to find an audience during that time of like solitude and general grief. So basically, it was just a way to spread some good vibes around, and to connect with all this community of fun, or of like jazz and funk players on Instagram that I really admire as a guitarist. And so basically I just started putting videos out, and I remember that I did this cover, this like loop station cover of I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. And, for like after one day, like it almost got like 500,000 views. So I remember having all these comments and messages, and it was crazy for me, and all like these big, like musicians that I always loved was like sharing it and commenting on it. It was really crazy. Instagram is, social media, of course, has also its downsides, but for this kind of thing, it's really a great thing.
Yeah. Do you feel like if playing guitar and like putting up music was a stress release for you, now that that's like your job, do you need to like have other stress outlets? Like, is that still a stress release for you, or now it's sort of like, how do you like uncouple that from like, that's your profession,
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because basically, now playing guitar, and especially recording videos, is becoming my job, through like brand endorsements and recording videos for like demos of products like pedals and guitars. It's actually my full-time job now, as like a guitar influencer, if you want to say that. But I always try to find a way to make it creative. So also that it doesn't feel like a job, like, hey guys, this is the new pedal from, I don't know, check it out. I always try to let the music speak and to show how the pedal sounds through something that it still feels creative and fun to do for me. So, it's cool to have all these like weekly schedules to work on, because I keep on like researching new ideas, and, probably if I didn't have this job, I will just like, put stuff out whenever I want to, and to have like, these weekly deadlines, keep myself to continually like researching new ideas and practicing guitar. So I think so far it's fun, and I like doing that.
Good. It still like brings you joy.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm curious, your videos are very like very well made, like they capture your attention very quickly. How do you make the videos all by yourself, and you do all the editing and everything? Or
yeah, there's not really a lot of editing actually, like rarely you have cuts, and they're just done with my iPhone. And usually what I will do is just, when I record videos alone, I will just put the iPhone on a little table, and just, press record and record it. And when we have like more complicated videos, like the band jams, where like the video is moving to show all the people, for that I have a video maker, which is my girlfriend actually, so I don't pay her. No, I'm joking. She's great. She's getting really good at doing videos. And I should credit her more for that. But yeah,
that's so good.
So yeah, they're really homemade, pretty simple. They're just done with the phone, and the audio is going into the sound interface. Nothing too fancy. And I think that's also because the reason why they work really well, because I feel like on Instagram especially, videos work when they feel like they're natural and they're done for the audience of Instagram. So it really, because it's basically, I'm recording a video with my phone for my Instagram audience. It's not like a fancy video production with like lightning and,
Yeah. No, they look really professional. We were both wondering, like, what's the setup, and because we are also familiar like with equipment, so we're always curious, like, how are other people doing it? And yours looks.
We're gonna steal your tricks.
My big advice for that is to use natural sunlight, because the colors and the light and the grain. When you're using iPhone quality, is the best way to do that. So try to use like those like sunlight that you get in like the late morning, early afternoon.
Yeah. So you have like a really specific window. You can only record like between 12 and 2 p.m.
Yeah, no, that's true. I have like a span amount of time to shoot videos. Otherwise, it will just look very grainy,
We know.
And then, I don't use like a higher quality camera than an iPhone, because otherwise when you put it on Instagram will compress it and just crash it down to a really bad quality. So, even with the iPhone, don't shoot at 60 FPS, but just keep 30. Otherwise, Instagram will compress it and the movement will look very unnatural. And just use the, that you can choose between IQ and 4K quality. Just use the IQ one, because, every time you'll try to use a higher quality camera, Instagram will just compress it. And the Instagram compression is not really good. So, that's the best way to keep a really good quality video format.
Did you learn all of this from like trial and error? Like you put up a video and you were like, shit, that doesn't look good.
Yeah,
and then you
that's
realized,
the thing, Yeah, and you can go back to my first Instagram video that I ever posted. You can see that it was done like by night with a really green lava lamp that I had on my desktop, and it's super grainy, it's super shitty quality video. And then moving up, you can see that the videos are getting better and the sound is better. The everything, look, this was like my first video.
That's so funny. Oh, wow. I'm gonna scroll back and I'm gonna find it.
The light quality is not that good.
Yeah,
and I'm not
it's
looking
green.
at
You're
the
green.
camera
Everything looks
anytime.
green.
Yeah. Also, my head is very big for some reason. So
it might just be your head.
There are stuff. Yeah,
I hate to tell you.
There's stuff that you learn while you're doing. Yeah. You're learning stuff by doing it, basically.
All right. We want to ask you to recommend us a song from someone that you love. So a song that's influenced you in your life or your musical career. Any song in the world.
It could be anything, literally anything. Preferably something on Spotify.
I would like to suggest you a band that's actually I've been listening to a lot recently. I also went to see them live this summer. They're a band from Italy. Actually,
cool.
I don't listen to a lot of Italian music, but I think this is a great example of like showing some music from my, culture. And this guy has a really nice blend of like funk and Mediterranean music, but they're really they're really close to the music that I play actually. And they're called Nu Genea. And the song is the first popular on, actually the first one that appears on Spotify. It's called Tienaté. Yeah. Many times they sing in, it's like Napoli, Naples, the city. It's their own language, their own dialect, just basically
cool.
Italian dialect. Yeah, but it's super musical and it's very funky. I was thinking about which song to suggest to you earlier. Like I was, of course, thinking, George Benson, Stevie Wonder, but I think this could be something different, to also show
we love that.
Some of my culture from my country, but it's still, blended with like funk and disco and other cool music.
Oh, that's perfect. All
Amazing.
Right, we're gonna listen
to it now.
Right now.
Love it. Already love it.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
It sounds like you. Sounds like your music.
Yeah.
All right, that is a fantastic song.
Amazing.
Yeah, right. It's a great song. You know, it really embodies like the Mediterranean kind of. You can really imagine like the palm and the palm trees and the sea. Listening to that song is very like Mediterranean vibe.
Yeah. I feel like it's almost as if Polo and Pan wishes they could make a song like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like way more authentic, but it's like a similar vibe for me of like, you're on the beach, like the waves, people are surfing, palm trees.
No, it's like, really like good vibes music. And I also found out that this was a collaboration with Tony Allen, you know, the really famous drummer from also Fela Kuti, you know, reconnecting to the Afrobeat in Nigeria. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So what does the song title mean?
Yeah, and what's the name of the language? What is their like local dialect called?
Oh, I don't know. Like it's like I don't know how to translate that in English, but it's basically the dialect from Naples. You know, because Italy has a very complicated history because it was divided between many different reigns. So in Naples you had the Spanish for a long time. You know, here you had like the Austrian reign, and you have also the French near Torino. So, you know, it's a really complicated history, and it's after its unification, there was a big problem in Italy to put together all these different languages and dialects, which were completely different languages, because, some of them came from like Spanish, and they really kind of mixed with all the different reigns that came one after the other. And, for that, television was a really important mean to connect and create the Italian language when there was the economic boom in the 50s. So what was the question again?
That was so interesting. What is the song name? What does it mean?
Oh yeah, it means keep it for yourself. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So like when are you listening to this kind of music? Like what kind of mood does this put you in?
I just like good vibe. I love I love listening to music like when I drive. I think that's like the perfect vibe.
Agree.
And also when I exercise, if I go out for a run or if I like go to the gym, I love listening to music. It really energizes me,
Yeah, I think if I was good at running, which I am not, then this is what I would want to listen to. I feel like that could give me energy. But I can't. I'm really
really.
I try to run. I run like 5 minutes, but it's better than zero.
I swear I cannot. I during the lockdown I also started exercising a lot, like doing exercises at the gym with weights, and I swear that I cannot like perform well at the gym if I don't have music.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I swear, like I don't feel I have enough strength to, pull up the weights, and it's crazy,
Music is a
This
drug.
is why also for sport competition, music, it's illegal to listen to music. It's like taking drugs. It's crazy.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I guess it can sort of like give you
really
adrenaline
powerful.
almost.
100%.
Yeah.
Gives you energy.
No, it's you cannot listen to music in like Olympics performances.
Really?
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
I bet I could be an Olympian if I was allowed to listen to music.
Yeah.
Oh, except for all the Olympians would also be listening to music, so never mind. They would just still be better.
Yeah, in your videos, speaking of you going and working out, you could see you do have big arms that you work out. You can see that you work out. And
What's your point?
My point is you're also very clean cut. Everything's well put together. I'm curious if you have a stylist or you style yourself.
The shirts are always really good. The shirts are good.
No, actually, I just do all by myself for that. And I think, it's just a way to try to, embody the vibes of the music and be colorful and funky and, spreading good vibes. I think that it's part of is part of the image that I want to send out with the music. And it's also, a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, it's also a little bit of like branding, because, when I go out wearing my backwards hat, people recognize me,
Yeah, why are you not wearing the hat?
And I receive a lot of, I just wanted to do something different today. So,
you actually look like, sorry. Do you know Milky Chance, the band Milky Chance?
I do know them. I don't really like listen to a lot of their song, but I know which band you're talking about. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah. You look like the lead singer right now.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the mustache.
That's his favorite band.
And
That's why he knows that.
Nice.
Actually, like you're wearing black and purple, and our shirts, like our colors, are black and purple. These
That's
are
true.
This is
Yeah,
our
we're
brand.
matching.
But it's just like good
Nice.
vibes colors. This is what we.
We
Yeah,
should send you a
that's true.
shirt. We'll send you
Yeah,
a
definitely.
shirt.
I like the purple one.
Thank
The
you. We'll
purple
send you a purple one. I
Nice.
also like the purple.
Yeah, we'll send you that.
And it's a little bit of branding in that sense that, I think you got to create an image that then you're immediately recognizable for.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if I'm going bald, since my dad is bald, I still got to wear my hat and no one's going to notice that.
He has the same problem.
I'm just going to put a little like strap of fake hair in the hat hole and no one is going to notice.
I think though that it comes from your mom's side, so you're probably okay.
Oh, yeah?
Like it's like a
It's your
maternal.
mom's dad.
Yeah. Does your grandfather on your mom's side have hair?
Was bald,
Had
yeah,
hair.
he was bald.
Well,
No, he was bald, yeah. So,
He's like, no, you-
I'm fact from, yeah.
It's okay. Are you excited to go to New York and play at Cafe Wah? I love that venue. I saw that you're playing.
Yeah,
there.
man. Yeah, crazy. I'm so excited.
How did you
Did
get?
they
hooked up with
already
that venue?
announce that? Well, how did you know?
how do you know that? You're so creepy.
I didn't
stalked you,
announce
my
that.
friend. I hacked your text messages. No, it's on your website. It's on your website.
Oh, right. I forgot. 'Cause I didn't know people check. I didn't know like people check my website. Like I just did my official website for like venues and APK and promoters.
Mm-hmm.
And people that are interviewing you.
Yeah, that's right. Makes sense. But yeah, still have to announce that like officially. Yeah, we have actually all the US tour ready. We're gonna do
Wow.
New York, Austin, Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, Nashville, Atlanta, and Philadelphia. Yeah,
Wow.
all
That's
in
a big
15
tour.
days. It's gonna be pretty intense.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
But, yeah,
You're like in and out,
it's
in
gonna
and
be a
out, in and out.
suicide. Yeah.
Where did you guys do your recording? Because you guys were in the U.S. for a little while before, right?
Yeah, so basically we got we got contacted by this studio in Dallas, and the main guy from the studio, he told me he had toured with like Parliament and the Gap Band, so all these like 80s and 60s, 70s, sorry, super funky bands that I've always loved. And basically, and he showed us like some pictures, and it all looked fantastic. And he told us he would have recorded like an EP for us, and we were super excited also because that was my first time ever in the United States.
Oh wow.
And basically, we arrived in Dallas, and these guys came to pick us at the airport, and they had this big like giant cardboard like thing with my face and my name printed on it, and it was so trash, like so cringy. And already I should have known that something wasn't right in that moment. But we were there, and basically they picked us with the pickup van, and we started driving in the night, and I was completely, in ecstasy because I never, it was my first time in the United States ever, and I always dreamed to go there. And then you see like the indications for Dallas, and you see that and we saw that we just passed them, and we were like, wait, but Dallas was that way, right? And it was like, yeah, it's a little bit outside of Dallas, and then it was like 2 hours from Dallas by car. And we ended up in this like super small town in the middle of nowhere in Texas.
Are you kidding me?
And the studio, it was like a room above a music school.
Oh my God.
And literally, I'm not joking, like it was super cold because it was January. And these guys were recording with the mixing room door open. So, the sound from the speaker of the mixing room was coming into the recording room while we were recording. So we were like, where we didn't, it was really crazy. But, actually, and then the sound was actually good. It was really good.
Okay, so
and,
you got kidnapped, but it ended up okay.
No, it was just very different from what we expected. But the sound was actually really good, and the production and the recording was actually pretty impressive, like the arrangements that they did on the songs. So yeah, now we have some singles ready from that. Those we kind of like changed those sessions, but we have the first single that is gone. You heard 2 songs.
I remember
Tel Aviv. And those songs were recorded there. And we changed some stuff. We re-recorded some stuff later in Italy, but the main part of the songs come from those sessions. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Should we go do that? Should we go get kidnapped and record our podcasts in like a hole in the wall? I have one more question. Okay. One day when you're like really, really famous, who do you want to open for your band? Who are you choosing to take on tour with you?
Oh, so like my opening act.
Yeah. Who's opening for you? Like you're the star.
Wow.
Who's the opening band?
That's a great question because I was ready to answer who would you love to open for? Like I would have said like Stevie Wonder or but that's different because I gotta think about like no
he'd be lucky to have you.
I would probably like ask Nu Genea, the band that I suggested you before.
Oh, that's really nice. Our friend
so I'm gonna bring some Italians.
Yeah, you have to. You got to stick together. The Italians, like on the world tour.
In the world.
No. Our friend, you met him at the concert. He was on crutches. I don't know if you remember, but he was like super dedicated to come because he's like your biggest fan. And he was like, I want you to ask him one question from me. So like, Adam, shout out. We asked your question. But I was like, no, it's a really interesting question. I feel like people are always like, oh, who do you want to open for?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. But yeah, right. Exactly. Like, that's a great question. Yeah, he was a really nice guy. Great guy.
Yeah. No, that's how we know you. Is like he's also a guitar player. So he became like obsessed with you and like literally every single day would send me one of your videos. So then I just started like watching them by myself. And then he would send one to me and I'd be like, I already saw it. Like I saw it before you.
Maybe he's the one that sent it to me originally too.
Yeah, definitely. He's like your biggest Israeli fan. But apparently you have a lot of fans here. So like you're well known
crazy.
in our music circle.
No, because through Instagram and messages, I knew I had some followers in Israel. But looking at my insight, you can see like your top 5 countries, and Israel was not of one of them. So I was really surprised that the first night was sold out, and it was really like I was not expecting the reaction. It's really amazing.
Right. I think it's because we're a small country. So we're all dedicated, but we still aren't enough people to like make it into the insights. But you have to come back because you could fill a small stadium.
No, absolutely.
Here, probably.
Yeah, I would love to. Would love to come in the summer when I can swim in. I went to the seaside and it looked amazing, but it was just cold. Yeah, I love the sea.
It was 30 degrees here today, so you could literally come from. You can swim from like April to November. Like, you guys just happen to come in the winter, but like most of the year, it's really nice.
I want to come back soon.
Yeah, you have to. You have to come back. I feel bad because we've taken up like way too much of your time.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you so much for joining us and for talking to us. I don't know if you have anything.
No, thanks to you guys. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you for listening to Song Per Day Podcast.
You can find us on Instagram and YouTube, and our email is perdaypodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Peace and love, baby.